There you are. Welcome back to the channel. We have all types of creepy videos, disturbing theories, and just scary TikToks coming right at you. Without further ado, let's dive in.
The ancients figured out how to build a living freezer fort in the middle of the scorching desert. You got whatever problem is facing you, just alchemize it. Whether your life or actual real-life Minecraft in the desert, one of the first things an alchemist boss like you would do is harness your invisible energy mastery and recreate this ice house from the desert alchemy. A mixture of good old redneck ingenuity and little kid fort genius innovation put to work. To make ice cubes in the desert. Not that one. To make ice cubes in the desert with this sick desert igloo pyramid and avoid the Mario Angry Sun heat death in man's most ancient quest, not dying. This living desert freezer is called a yakcho and it's Persian in origin. You can find them all over the desert and it works by harnessing vortex energy, kinda. This requires knowledge of air density, molecules, the molecular structure of things, convection and conduction, and it's built basically to take advantage of the fact that heat rises and cold air goes to the bottom, again with the vortex points and strategic openings. They also then constructed heat walls to shade the structure from the sun. And they would gather cold water or ice in the winter and then just keep sticking it in the bottom, in the walls, wherever. Also, these columns on the side are wind catchers, which you can find in many buildings also that actually care. Like the old world Tartarian architecture as opposed to the modern day brutalism that tries to destroy your soul just by looking at it, let alone working in them. The difference of God's mind versus the devil's matrix. There's a video on my YouTube page with a lot of genius level displays of outside of the box thinking like this. Check it out. Some Tesla level bosshood. Also check out some of this desert innovation. Also Tatooine from Star Wars is probably based on the ancient nomadic alchemy structures. Lots of treasure waiting to be discovered in the desert, including my supernatural desert mystery compilation on my YouTube page, as well as my invisible energy compilation. And remember, Jesus can transmute your life to gold if you let him. He is the living water in the desert.
Savage truth.
Glory be to God. It's really easy to see. They're not going to make it obvious for you. It's going to be in plain sight. This is how this works. It has nothing really to do with a karmic retribution system. Rather, what I would say is BLM, black magic. You're awakening or weakening, dazed and weak through the days of the week. Now, what does this look like right in front of you? And all I did was just type in the Grand Canyon. Canyon, can you see? Let's zoom in. It's that easy. It's right in front of you. Like I said, they're not going to put yellow caution taping. Attention, we have found pyramids in the Grand Canyon. The whole thing is a foundation of previous civilizations. I can't imagine what it would have looked like. I would love to see AI in that essence, AI done correctly, because I would love to see that. My imagination just, yep, that seems right. Caves everywhere. It's not like I'm making this stuff up. You can't even go see half of this stuff yourself. It's already government barricaded, highly government controlled, just like any other national park, which is a lot of other things that happen in these places. You know what I'm saying? So we can already tell that this is not what they're telling us. Yeah, it all got petrified, melted, turned into stone, scarred, scared, however you want to look at that. They are melted structures. It's like taking a sun, a DEW, direct energy, a laser harness sun weapon, and using it like a magnifying glass, aiming it at a certain location, and this would be the remnant. It's obvious that these are pyramids. It's obvious this was a thriving civilization, and I'm not talking Native Americans. I'm talking stuff that would blow all of our minds. I'm talking trees of life that touch the bottom, the top of the firmament. They go all the way to the top, to the bottom. As above, so below. The deeper the roots, that means they're going to go just as high in the sky. These are all structures that, when are we going to get a team of trusted individuals that are not government related to make understanding of all this?
Real quick about the trees. How the root system is just as tall as the trees. If anybody has ever gardened and they bought a flower or vegetable and you transplant it, tell me you can buy a pot this big and the plant above it is this big. Why are all the roots bunched up at the bottom? You know, those roots go deep, guys, to the great deep. The great deep is deep, deeper than Sheol, Tartarus. The vent system, the waters. Everyone's asking, man, where are the waters coming from? From the ocean, the lake. They come from the great deep, bucko. Some of them are coming through trees, ancient tree stumps. We all seen waterfalls. Every single waterfall is a tree stump. Wake up.
We can all agree on, because the pyramids are there, the sculptures are there, the faces are there, the caves are there, the awareness is there. I mean, it's not just a coinkydink. This stuff's all around the world. And there would be no difference between this, which is in Arizona, right? Phoenix rises, the rise of the phoenix, that's penis, versus the rose of the Venus, that's what Lucifer is. This is Saturn, Satan. Isiar Philippi, the love and the power of horses, which would be Roswell, which is Adrena, Google Chrome. Caesar Borgia, Pan, pineal gland, Zeus, Jesus and Zeus. Goats, gods. This is right in front of you. Isis temple, what they're claiming, and it has nothing to do about the details. We can acknowledge the bigger relevance.
Again, if you guys just come from dark waters, I just did a video about the Sphinx. And I believe the Egyptians found the Sphinx because that wasn't originally how it looked like. They came and just added the headpiece because none of it matches up. This could be a giant lion up here. This isn't a Sphinx. Everyone is yelling, saying, oh, this is a Sphinx. Man, that's not a Sphinx. That's a giant lion. Who made it? I don't know.
Egypt, which would be Egypt, be God. Granddad Ra sing. Glory be to God.
Was that a cat? Wow. Sound like you gotta feed Whiskers.
Did you hear about the huge mystery that all the cats in the state of Florida and in southern Georgia are traveling to Miami and gathering in this certain spot? It's baffling the scientific experts, and it's baffling the local city governors. They don't know what to do. And it's all the way, like I said, from Jacksonville, Florida, that is the most north of the state, and in Georgia, the cats are just leaving the homes. The ones that are domesticated, the alley cats are leaving, and they're trekking hundreds of miles all the way down to the south of the state. Scientific experts thinks that there might be some magnetic thing going on. Like there's a magnetic epicenter there that's messing with the cats' brains, and it's causing them to want to gather here. But look at all of these cats. And so local officials are going to PetSmart and asking them, hey, do you have any food that you can donate? Because we don't want these cats to die of a fatality death. They've tried to shoo them away at first, but the cats just keep coming back and coming back. And so I think it's kind of cool and kind of neat and fun, but we'll see what happens. I'll keep you updated. But what do you think about this?
Are you kidding me? You get it? Kidding me? But anyway, seriously though, if you're missing your cat, he might be at a conference in Florida. Miami, Florida, soaking up some sun. I hope my man's all right.
Recently came across this book. I was out in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. This book is from 1777. America was 1 year old at the time. The name of this book is right here. It's the Universal Geographical Grammar from 1777. I'll be going through this book, making a lot of videos. There's some crazy stuff in here. I'm just going to give a quick preview of this because there's things in here like, so here's the opening map. Here's the opening map of the world. And right, let's see, right, hold on. Right here, Eastern Tartary. And right here is Western Tartary. And there's China. And what we'll get into farther back, it's going to be...
Look at that scythe. Why is this angel holding a scythe is the question. In the... Are you saying that's the borders? We can't go that far? What's the correlation here with that angel holding the scythe here?
Chinese Tartary also. And then over here, the lower half of America is Florida. The left side, you can see California. then the whole top is empty, and there is no Canada. So then,
I want this book.
we'll go to the next one. This is the doctrine of the sphere. Here is the artificial sphere. Because the world was coming from being flat and going into being a globe. And right here you've got the doctrine of the globe. And let's see, hold on.
That heliocentric doctrine.
Hold on. Let's see. Oh, all right, let me go back to my page. So here we got of the terrestrial globe and maps. So now we got geographical problems performed by the globe. All right, so we've got problem 1. The diameter of an artificial globe being given to find its surface in square and its hold on a second. This is for 1700. So the F's, the lowercase f's, or the cursive F's are actually lowercase s's. So I've got to convert everything. It's solidity. Okay, solidity. Solidity in its cubic measure, which looks like mefure. All right, right there, mefure. Folidity. So it's solidity. All right. Anyway, there's a lot of things about this book that are very different. So we got problem 2, given any place on the globe. Problem 3, given the time of the year. Problem 4, given any place of the globe. And
There was resistance against the globe doctrine is what I'm seeing in the 1700s. They weren't going. Nobody, not everybody was riding with the heliocentric doctrine. They was like, look, man, let me break it down to you why this is the doctrine. Interesting stuff.
the time of the year. Problem 5, given new places on the globe. See, this is the thing, is that they're having to recalibrate, reconfigure the way that they see distances and find places on a globe map, because before this, everything was flat earth maps. I'm not going to spend any more time on that part. Wait. Let me go to the next one. This is endless. I could be on this.
What book was this?
Spain. I could be on this book for ever. All right, so this is the first cover page that I found. I think the original, the very front cover page in front of that first universal globe map is gone. It wasn't here when I got it. But from the other book that I saw online, this one's much better condition. Far better. All the maps are here. Here's the frozen ocean. All right, here's the Atlantic Ocean. There's Africa. But anyway, I'm just covering the fact that it's called the geographical grammar on this one.
I like how he's wearing gloves. Normally you just see people just flipping, no gloves. They don't care about the oils. My man cares. This book is important.
Let me go to the next marked page. Is that it? Let's see. Here we go. All right, the Empire of China. All right. Chinese Tartary. So, Tartary was real. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This book is filled with it. All right. And they just talk casually about it. You know, this is before they had done away with it. This is before they had changed all their information. They'll probably come knock on my door and get me after showing this, but whatever. You know, we all got to go sometime. Let's see what's next.
Don't come from me. Keep your head on a swivel.
Oh, so we got Africa. So over here, this is the only one that shows, I guess that's supposed to be a crocodile or a dragon. And then, I'm not gonna say it. We was kings. All right, I said it. All right, so we got Ethiopia. I'm trying to find, oh, here it is. Here it is, y'all. Negro Land. I didn't write this book. But this is the whole thing, is that they've got different oceans back then.
Maybe I don't want this book.
So much. They got a whole book thing in the back about discoveries, new discoveries in the 1700s. Trying to get to it. All right, here's America. Here's America. All right, so we got North America. And the whole top is parts unknown. Parts unknown. All right, so we got California, Florida. All of this is Florida. All of this is Louisiana Purchase. Louisiana Purchase. New Albion.
I heard the Louisiana Purchase was actually called the Louisiana Purchase. Like they were chasing some people out of Louisiana. So that's something else to think about.
Is your upper west, and then parts unknown, all of Canada, all around Yellowstone, Montana, all that stuff is missing. All right, nobody's explored it. Well, you know, they were there. Nobody had founded all the stuff that was coming. Let me get to the back of this. Yeah, and we got new discoveries. A short account of the principal discoveries made in the voyages. What does that say? Oh, lately undertaken at the expense of the British government. All right, so it talks about Captain Cook going to the North Pole, how they're offering rewards to people to find a route through the North Pole so they can get to the Indies for trade faster and easier. You got new chronological table for the area content, writings of learned men.
Can you imagine that? Oh, I'm just about to go sailing. We need to find this new trade route up north. I don't know when I'll be back. Probably about 3-6 months, dear. Come here. Wow. Tell the kids I love them. That's a journey.
I mean, there's a lot going on in this book. I'll get into each one of these sections over time a little bit more.
We ain't got time for that, bro. Scan the whole book and upload the PDF for us.
You out?
Yep, I'm done.
Joe just quit on the job, yo.
He told me to go help with Frosty, so I did. Then he told me to drop meat and got pissed off when I was helping with Frosty.
I know, but when he's doing what you told him to, and then you yelled at him because he wasn't dropping more fries or something, while he was helping with 12 Frosties that you told him to come help with.
Me, my mom, and it's like, no, I'm not closing with just the three of us, especially with the way he acts.
Well, this is ridiculous. There should be more than 3 freaking
I'm sorry? It doesn't matter. Jim's going to fire me after this one. I'm leaving my keys when I leave.
There's 3 freaking people here. That you can't expect to run a store with 3 people on a Saturday night. There's only one person.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Richard is getting nippy.
Well, I'm leaving my keys.
Who was that on the phone?
That was Ian.
And you just hung up on him?
Yeah, I just quit.
I'm out here, I was literally shaking.
Who are you calling?
My brother to come pick me up.
Is he answered yet?
Yeah.
Bro, I'm done. That's why I'm never.
And it's like, it's the same thing with the morning.
You out?
Yep, I'm done.
You don't tell a man to drop the meat while he's helping on Frosties. You've gone too far. Mama looked like she needed to be the new manager anyway. Let's go.
Okay, I have a crazy story and an iPhone trick that you need to try. Let me explain. Under the streets of Paris is over 200 miles of tunnels called the Catacombs. You can walk for days and no one knows just how far the tunnels go, but a group of urban explorers used a new feature on the iPhone 12 Pro to start mapping the tunnels in 3D, and the models are wild. Keep in mind, all of this is usually pitch black. The spiral entrance really shows just how deep you are. Everything is covered with graffiti, and each room has a story, like this one where people actually threw raves in the 80s. Like for more.
That would be useful if you're actually lost inside somewhere and had to go back. That is a pretty cool feature. Almost like some type of Batman sonar system. The Egyptians already knew about dimensions. And did you know there are more than 7? That's interesting. But look at this 3D artifact. That is interesting. Wow, take a look at this place. Uh-oh, they got a mermaid there. Is this one of those mega mansion mermaid dinner parties they're telling about? But it is a cool place. Like a F1 pit stop, wasn't it?
Go straight, let's make a line, please. Let's open up right now. Excuse me.
Oh my gosh.
Go straight, let's make a line, please. Let's open up right now. Excuse me.
Oh my gosh.
Let's make a line, please. Let's open up right now. Excuse me.
Keep in mind, that's a painting of Christ in the storm in the Sea of Galilee. That's going straight to the Smithsonian. We'll never see it. If you're enjoying this video, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button because we do these videos every single day. And I'd love to see you tomorrow. Let's get straight back into the action.
Perhaps it happened with next to no notice, no warning. And then a wall of water comes, flooding the earth, burying them and preserving them at the bottom of the muddy water steps. And then, once the water level started to recede, all that mud and soot that was once underneath the water hardens into stone. And generations later, the landscape captures that moment. Perhaps it happened with next to
I know, that's crazy, right? Them giants.
¡Idiota! ¡Imbécil! ¡Estúpido! ¡Pendejo! ¡Se acaba de subir! ¡Es
No manchen. Wow, se subió un estúpido. Dios. 20 de marzo 2025, un idiota se le ocurrió subirse. Wow. ¿Qué pasó? ¡Sacrificio para los dioses! ¡Qué tarado! Perdón. No manches. Vamos a ver qué va a pasar. Sí, tiene una foto del soldado.
He ran all the way up. He said, I'm getting my money's worth. Oh, no. Was she even looking? That's not too bad to fix, though. I guess that's what they mean by falling head over heels.
Someone had asked AI, what does the universe truly look like? And they wanted a picture. And this is what they gave them. Now, hold on real quick. I zoomed in on this shit. Now, I want y'all to peep this shit. This is like a different realm right here, right? And then you have a realm right here. Peep this, though. This is supposed to be all of the different, like, star systems or whatever. But you know what I noticed in this shit, y'all? How there's boundaries and how there's a flat plane right there. You can see that, right? Now, you know they be trying to tell us, bro. That's what AI is meant to do. Artificial intelligence. They're telling us that there are beings on the outside of this skirt that's looking inside. Look, you can even see that there's cities and everything on the outside. And then if you look at the picture different, it's looking inwards. It's not a circle, like they're looking inwards, yo. I've been trying to tell y'all. Wake up!
Interesting. It looks like 9 different dimensions. Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
Yo, has anybody else noticed that in this recent speech, like the coat of arms behind Trump, we're usually like the head? Yo, has anybody else noticed that in this recent speech, like the coat of arms behind Trump, where usually like the head of the eagle is facing towards the olive branch, whilst having these arrows, which means that it's capable of peace and war, but it's gonna look more towards peace. The eagle in this coat of arms is looking towards the arrows, towards war. And it's like, damn, that's kind of settling. Yo, is anybody else?
Hold up. So you mean to tell me that this picture is actually real? It has just been reported that researchers have uncovered large structures under the pyramids of Giza. Now, these structures that they found are 1.5 miles long. That's bigger than the Burj Khalifa, World Trade Center, Twin Towers, the Statue of Liberty. This thing is huge. Now, these structures also had a cylinder-like coil wrapped around it, which could give way to maybe a staircase or maybe some type of energy source, which could be the latter because there's also pyramids in America, or aka monk mounds in East St. Louis, Illinois, in which had a ancient civilization called Cahokia, where these monk mounds or aka pyramids came from, which was around 13 or 1400 AD, and guess where it's right across from? The Mississippi River. Now, what other river, very famous river, is in Africa? The Nile River. Now, my theory is maybe these structures, pyramids, mounds, whatever you want to call them, are hydroelectric, which means these ancient civilizations are more advanced than we think, and this changes everything we know. If this is the case, I mean, maybe there was more than one Africa or Egypt. Maybe America was Egypt. I mean, don't get me started on how the Grand Canyon has a portal to Egypt. That's a whole nother rabbit hole. But what do you guys think about all this? Let me know below.
Screen record it, please, please, please. Get the thing glowing. I can't believe I'm holding it this still. My back is not... Wait, I gotta adjust my back. Oh. Oh my god, I would kill for a tripod. Screen record it. Everybody screen record this and share it tomorrow. If you tag me, that would be freaking cool. You don't have to, though. You don't have to tag me. But... oh my god, it's got... it looks like it's got little fuzzy hairs on it. It looks crazy. This is live, guys. This is live. I just happened to put the lens on perfectly and I zoomed right in on it. That was actually lucky. Now I'm having problems getting it, trying to keep it still. I don't know how much longer I can hold it like this. How do you screen record? Somebody answer her. Oh, it's getting smaller. It's getting smaller. I can still see it with my eyes though. I'm looking at it. Dude, it's glitching out. Screen record it, please, please, please.
Kinda resembles a sand dollar, like a holographic sand dollar. Or could it be Blue Beam? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Definitely some type of interesting orb going on in the sky. If you're enjoying this video, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button because we do these videos every single day. And I'd love to see you tomorrow. So let's get straight back into the action.
1934 LA Times article that specifically says Lizard People's Catacomb City hunted. Engineer sinks shaft under Fort Moore Hill to find maze of tunnels and priceless treasures of legendary inhabitants. G. Warren Schufelt, geophysical mining engineer, used cutting-edge technology at the time in the form of radio x-rays to detect minerals and tunnels below the surface. It turned up catacombs and vaults that made up a vast city. Schufelt met with a Hopi Indian, Little Chief Greenleaf, told him the ancient story of how an advanced race called the Lizard People had built a massive underground city using powerful chemicals instead of shovel. The Lizard People were highly advanced and incredibly smart according to the Hopi chief. Their city was built with an advanced type of cement, stronger than anything.
Lizard People catacombs. Could that explain why there's so many bones inside the catacombs we see today?
Why are there 6 million bodies beneath the city of Paris? It's because in the 18th century, the graveyards in France were overflowing with bodies, and King Louis XVI needed a plan to organize this. So he arranged the construction of the catacombs. This is a whole second city underneath Paris. It's believed that the catacombs are over 350 kilometers long and are a complex maze of tunnels and corridors. You could imagine that getting lost in here would mean, and it does. A hotel doorkeeper named Philibert Aspart stumbled into the catacombs and explored them a little bit. But when his single candle went out, he was surrounded by nothing but darkness and bones. His body was found 11 years later, and he was only identified because of the keys that he carried during his lifetime. There's also this video of a man exploring the catacombs when he suddenly drops his camera and starts sprinting away, which means either he got lost or he wasn't alone down there. Regardless, he was never seen again, and nobody knows what happened to him. And now you know. Why are there 6 million bodies beneath the city of Paris?
6 million? That's not adding up. I think there's more to the story than that.
The catacombs, the darkest secret on Earth. An underground complex 300 kilometers long with 6 to 7 million bodies, and we're supposed to believe it's because too many people got sick and hungry, or might they be hiding what remains of the old world? And that's just the one in Paris. These catacombs are all over the world. Just a theory, entertainment purposes only. So, why is there a labyrinth of corpses under the city of Paris in the first place? History tells us in the late 18th century, so many people were famine that they started running out of cemetery space to bury them. Bodies were piling up so much they were causing odors throughout the city, so King Louis XVI ordered his authorities to fix this problem. In 1785, they uncovered an old underground tunnel system called the Tombe Issoire quarries, which were used as limestone quarries hundreds of years earlier to build famous sites like Notre Dame. They repurposed these tunnels to relocate all the bones from the overpopulated cemeteries over the course of about 12 years, and did so with an air of secrecy. You know, to not raise panic among the citizens, of course. The site was officially called the Paris Municipal Ossuary and eventually began to take on the mythical name of the Catacombs. The first thing anyone notices about these subterranean graves is the intricate, almost ritualistic design of the human remains. The bones weren't just stashed away in large heaps as one might expect would be the case for a disposal project as this one, but were organized in a decorative fashion, aligning femurs with skulls along the walls, geometric patterns, a throne of bones, and even this famous centerpiece known as the barrel, which, according to sources, were all put in place by the average 18th century quarrymen. They were led by official quarry engineers like Louis Etienne de Tartary, but still peculiar to see. In fact, the architecture was so nice that in 1809, the catacombs were even open to the public for tours, which only the rich could afford. Ritualistic sites involving the deceased attended by only the elite class? Some things never change. Now, why on earth would a literal mass grave be so intricately decorated for presentation in a borderline victorious manner like they were celebrating something? But no, they were just moving some bones out of the way, nothing to see here. Let's do some math. 6 to 7 million bodies moved over the course of 12 years as claimed means 57 to 67 bodies moved every hour, night and day for 12 years straight. That's one body, which contains several bones, moved into place in carefully designed patterns every minute, day and night, non-stop for 12 years. Which could be possible given a sizable workforce, just quite impressive to say the least, especially given their incredible design. But the question does arise, where do you get 6 to 7 million bodies in a city with a population of just about 600,000 at the time? That's 10 times the population of Paris in the 1780s and even about 3 times Paris's population today. I understand these bodies have accumulated over centuries, but the population was even lower in previous generations. Not to mention, even most bones do decompose and become extremely brittle within 100 years, so where did all these remains come from? Disease and famine is the main explanation we're given. Even Great Britain was having the same problem of overflowing cemeteries around the same time. It's almost like there was an old world here before us that got wiped out in a short period of time and they needed a place to hide all the bodies, which reveals these Paris catacombs were merely the tip of quite an extensive shaft, as we see hidden mass grave sites like these all around the world, like in Odessa, Ukraine, home to the largest catacombs in the world. 2,500 kilometers of tunnels dug into limestone bedrock dating to about the 17th century, also used as a quarry and never officially to store bones of the deceased, but the majority of these tunnels haven't even been explored yet. Documentation of these catacombs is extremely limited, almost like they didn't want anyone to know what's down there, with large areas even being off limits to the public. Rumors claim that up to 1 million bodies may be buried down there, but on record, there's none, which is kinda odd given they're officially called the Odessa Catacombs halfway around the world. The Basilica and Convent of San Francisco, a cathedral in Lima, Peru, has its own network of catacombs underneath. And again, what do we see here? Human bones arranged in a decorated manner, eerily similar to the ones in Paris, kinda like they were built as an award, a trophy, or accomplishment of some sort. Estimated to hold at least 25,000 bodies, with some claiming up to 70,000, or so we're told, as these haven't been explored much either, with many smaller catacombs under other churches in the surrounding area, all believed to be connected, possibly bringing the body count of this network into the hundreds of thousands, maybe millions, but just speculation. The Lima catacombs weren't even publicly rediscovered until 1943, despite starting construction in 1546. Now, why put so much effort into designing yet another artistic mass grave site just to keep it hidden for hundreds of years? Just like the Brno ossuary in Czech Republic, again under a church and rediscovered as recently as 2001, despite being used in the 18th century, and this one has an estimated 50,000 bodies, but as always, it could be more. Organized in the fun geometric patterns we see everywhere, almost like the same group of people did this around the world. And like, why? Why put in so much artistic architectural design made of human remains into an underground crypt that no one is ever supposed to see, allegedly constructed by your average 18th century quarrymen, because, you know, they all had degrees in advanced architectural design back then. Some sources even admit they appear to be arranged in a ritualistic manner, like the ones who built them were trying to achieve something more than just a gravesite. And what about those underground crypts they've been finding in places like New York City? Are there more of these hidden all around the world? St. Stephen's Cathedral in Vienna, Austria, catacombs with about 11,000 bodies. The catacombs of Rome, once said to host hundreds of thousands of the deceased, but have largely since been emptied. Under the Church of St. Paul's beneath the island of Malta, more catacombs. This list is endless. Almost always found directly under a church or cathedral. The obvious answer is they want to honor the dead by burying them under places of worship. Unless it was the churches that were strategically built on top of the catacombs. A perfect hiding spot for mass graves that nobody would accidentally stumble upon while keeping the majority of their known tunnels off limits to the public. These are just the ones we know about. There could be many more under major cathedrals in every city. So did all these places just happen to have body overpopulation issues in the past they solved by ceremoniously decorating underground caverns with skulls and femurs? And today, we're A-okay, despite global population skyrocketing. Or maybe there was something back then that resulted in a huge spike of bodies. Fires. Almost every single major city has had their own that took place in the last 400 years or so. Try it out, search up your city name, and you're almost guaranteed to find something. City, mass graves largely unexplored under their streets. Was there an old world, a lost civilization as recent as the 1700s that was wiped from the earth and intentionally hidden from records? Some mystery enthusiasts say yes. Before the Great Fires, there was rumored to be a great global empire that rhymes with barbarian. Ugh, I don't even know if I want to get into that. And who knows, maybe these catacombs are just totally innocent and none of this is true.
Who knows how many catacombs are under those cathedrals that we don't know about? But a good indicator of where a catacomb might be is under all these giant cathedrals. Be hundreds of catacombs we don't know about. But as far as all these bodies, where did they come from? What is the purpose? Why did they stack them like that? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
Hey, PSA, don't... Let's talk about the catacombs and why she is 100% correct. You should never do that. So the entire city of Paris is sitting on top of an entire catacomb network. And the part that you visit for the museum is just one small little portion of the catacombs. That's the part that you're allowed to go in. That's the part that's reinforced. You go with a tour guide. It's safe. You're allowed to do that. But there's catacombs under the entire city. And if you move to Paris, it will not take you very long to find somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, where the entrances are, how to get in. I know where the entrances are. And for me, for a long time, I was like, I want to go in there. I want to go in there. That was my plan. I literally bought a headlamp for that. Like, I bought a headlamp for the purpose of going into the catacombs, and turns out, great purchase because I use it all the time. But that's what I bought it for. Now, in that video, she explains why you shouldn't do that, and the reasons that she gives are, they're huge, they span for literally miles, people get lost in there, like it's literally happened where people get lost and they die in there. It's not safe, you don't know where it's reinforced, like it's a risky thing to do, and it's kind of stupid. Good reasons. I have better reasons. So I dated a guy, a Parisian guy who grew up here, and he's the type of guy who enjoys breaking the rules. So he's definitely gone in there, and he has friends who goes in there, and I had said to him, I want to go in there, and he's like, I mean, we could go, but you can't go without me. And I was like, why? Because then also we broke up, and I was like, I'm going, like, I know where the entrance is, you know? Here's what he explained to me, so please, for the love of God, listen to this and don't ever try going in there. There's people that live in there full time. There is a community of people that live in the catacombs, okay? And they don't want tourists going in there, whether it's tourists like Americans, tourists like French people, they don't want people going in there, period. What he told me was, there are people down there, when you go in with your map, because obviously you need your map to figure out where you're going, because it's winding little corridors, you're gonna climb through water, you're gonna get disgusting, by the way. There's parts where you have to crawl. It's very confusing down there, right? And there's no cell service, and it's a risky situation. You need your map with you to know where the hell you're going. He said to me that there's people that live down there, and what they will do is when they see you coming in with your map, with your flashlights, here's what they'll do. They'll run up to you, grab your flashlight and grab your map, and then run away. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? You go down with me with my little headlamp and my little map, and I'm like, ooh, we're going on an adventure, which is illegal, by the way. And then someone runs up to me, imagine, grabs my map out of my hand and my headlamp, and I'm just sat there like, oh my God, where do I go? It's horrible, but like, that happens. And that is horrifying. So that's why he said to me, if we ever go, you have to go with me, because you need to go with someone who knows what they're doing. And also, like, I know some of the people who he's very indirect, but he's like, I know people. So like, maybe he's friends with the snatchers. I have no idea. But I heard that information and I was like, say less, I'm not going in there. I'm never going in there. It's just a bad idea. And it might seem like cute and funny, but like, it's not. You're gonna get disgusting. You could die. Like, just please don't ever do it. Please don't ever do it. And no, I will not tell you where the entrances are. No, never. There are other ways to have fun adventures in Paris. Go to Père Lachaise Cemetery and try to summon the ghosts that live there. That's way more fun, I promise. Okay, that's all. Follow me for more Paris tips and tricks.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Diving through skeleton juice? No, thank you. Would you do it?
The Paris catacombs are a network of underground tunnels that contain the bones of more than 6 million people, who were moved there from overcrowded cemeteries in the 18th and 19th centuries. The catacombs are open to the public and offer a unique historical and cultural experience. They are located under the place d'Enfort-Chauchereau in the 14th arrondissement of Paris. The catacombs are also known as the Empire of the Dead because of the inscription on the entrance gate. For images and detailed information,
might be some type of creatures down there. Who knows? And yes, it looks like they do throw raves underground. It reminds me of that Blade. When Blade was in there and he broke up the rave. Y'all up to no good.
Freemasons were never just builders, they were gatekeepers, archivists, hoarders of ancient truth. Inside the archives you will not find speculations, you will find proof. History is a fabrication. Proof that civilizations more advanced than ours have risen and fallen, buried beneath layers of deception. and to ensure the truth never reaches those who are meant to forget. Secrets of architecture, sacred geometry, and energy manipulation were not just used to build temples, they were used to alter the fabric of reality itself. Buried in the archives are the real timelines, the history that has been erased. The ancient civilizations that surpassed modern technology, destroyed, covered up, and rewritten as myth. The true origin of mankind, not a random evolution, but a designed creation for a purpose we were never told.
I want more on those flying buildings. How crazy is that? Imagine seeing a giant building flying. Kind of makes sense why we see all those different moving parts in those ancient Indian temples. Makes you think.
This is Berlin in 1902, a place lost in time, showing you remnants of an old world. This was a time when they were still transitioning from the reset. This was a time in life when they still had free ether energy and etheric collecting devices on top of buildings. Can you spot the free energy electric vehicles here? How is it that today we just use petrol cars? Wouldn't it be better if we were running off free energy vehicles? You have to understand that even though this was after the reset, they still had old world values. Look at this beautiful architecture on the side of the buildings here. And we're meant to believe that they built all of this architecture like 50 years before this. Can you spot the free etheric device on top of that building over on the left? It seems quite mad to me that there's horse and carriages and also electric vehicles right next to each other. It's because this is literally the transition from the reset. So it was like the old world transitioning with the new world. Stay blessed, guys.
Transitioning from the old world to the new world. How fascinating.
I've been hiding this from you. The Great Pyramid of Giza is not just a massive stone structure built by primitive cultures. They've been lying to you. There is strong evidence that the pyramids were once covered by a flood. The creatures who built these structures knew how to use Earth's energy and had a deep understanding of the stars. All the pyramids are aligned with the Orion constellation, showing their advanced knowledge of astronomy and ability to harness celestial energy. But here's where it gets even crazier. The materials used to build the pyramid were intentional. The Nile River used to flow much closer to the pyramids. Satellite images and geological studies show that ancient Nile channels once brought water right to the pyramid's base. The pyramid's base is made of granite blocks filled with quartz crystals. Quartz has piezoelectric properties, meaning it generates an electric charge under pressure. The pyramid's heavy weight creates this pressure, producing a continuous electric charge. The Nile's water acted like a hydroelectric dam. These were not just tombs built by slaves, they were advanced energy machines. Think about it, why would a tomb need electricity? They have been hiding this from you.
For entertainment purposes only, don't believe everything you hear or see on these videos. But take a look at how massive these giants could have been. It would make sense why these steps were so big.
Now if you believe this, you're truly living in denial. And I'm not talking about Egypt. This is the giant steps in Peru. And they say it was built over 900 years ago. And they also say it wasn't built by giants, titans, or the Nephilim, even the Anunnaki. It was built by a regular architect of normal size. And he didn't know he got the measurements wrong until we finished building it. I mean, come on, brother. What are we doing? The lies. The lies have got to stop. You see, the problem about lying is once you tell one lie, you have to keep telling more lies to defend the previous lie. I mean, can you actually imagine somebody building something this big, this precise, and he couldn't count? Huh? He got the measurements wrong, like, whoops. Well, we might as well keep going now, we've started. Is this what you guys believe? And we're meant to be the conspiracy theory. It's plain as day, bruv. Come on. The eyes are useless when the mind is blind.
Who were those giant steps for exactly?
1600 and 1700, Versailles had no bathrooms. Waste was tossed from windows, and odors were masked with flowers and fans. Can you imagine living in such royal luxury? Between 1600 and 1700, Versailles had no bathrooms. Waste was tossed from windows, and odors were masked with flowers and fans. Can you imagine living in such royal luxury?
That's disturbing to think about, that they could be that fancy without any bathrooms. Something's not adding up. Maybe something else was living in those buildings.
These surreal rock formations are some of New Mexico's greatest treasures. The Bisty Wilderness, a 45,000-acre wilderness area in San Juan County, U.S., was created from sediments deposited 75 million years ago, when dinosaurs still roamed the earth.
They kind of look like cinnamon rolls and pancakes. Maybe I'm just hungry.
All right, a tale of two different train stations. I believe our history books are completely fabricated, and I just want to dive into the logistics on these two buildings to prove that definitively. So this is Michigan Grand Central. It was built for $2.5 million in 1913. Adjusted for inflation, that's a little less than $80 million. What a steal, right? For $80 million. And thank God they had it, because the one in 1912 burnt down. Another stone building burnt down. They were working on this one, and they said in 1913 it was ready to go. And then it fell into disrepair for years. And then the Ford Motor Company bought it for $90 million, more than it originally cost to build, and then spent almost $1 billion renovating it. Not building it, just renovating it.
Mount Nokogiri. The mysterious quarry on Mount Nokogiri, located in Chiba Prefecture, displays incredibly precise and smooth rock cuts. These cuts are so advanced that they appear to be beyond the technological capabilities of ancient civilizations. The massive scale of the carvings has also left researchers baffled about how they were created with the tools that were available at the time. Some theorize that Mount Nokogiri may have been a sacred or ritualistic site. The precision and smoothness of the cuts suggest a level of intentionality and skill that transcends basic quarrying practices. The Oya Stone Quarry. The Oya Stone Quarry, located in Utsunomiya City, Tochigi Prefecture, is a massive underground labyrinth that was once a bustling mining site for the renowned Oya stone.
So these crazy surgical-like precision statues aren't just in Egypt, they're also in China as well.
At the ancient site of Tiwanaku in Bolivia, you can find these mysterious faces protruding from the walls. It's obvious that the passage of time has not been kind to most of them, with some beginning to look a little warped and tired. But this one looks eerily familiar. At the ancient site of Tiwanaku in Bolivia, you...
Like an alien.
This is Rotter, born in 1821, who shifted from medicine to the occult, building a cryptozoological collection featuring creatures like werewolves and vampires, now housed in the Museum Obscurum. This is Rotter, born
during the mid-12th dynasty. Depictions of Pharaoh Senusret III shifted from youthful idealization to a more mature and realistic portrayal. This transformation, seen in this monumental work, features sagging flesh, prominent bone structure, and protruding eyes. The change likely reflects evolving ideas of kingship, emphasizing wisdom and experience as key traits of a ruler. During the mid-12th dynasty,
it was almost like a 3D statue photograph of him.
These are spiral-shaped chambers discovered beneath the Great Pyramid, descending 600 meters deep, raising questions about a hidden history and who built them for unknown purposes.
This enigmatic structure, measuring 36 feet in length, 26 feet in width, and 15 feet in height, is known for its smooth surfaces and angular indents. Like Ishi no Hoden, the purpose and origins of the rock ship of Masuda remain unclear. Some theories suggest that it was used as an astronomical tool, while others propose it may have served a ritualistic or symbolic function. This enigmatic structure measures
Issue non Holden. I love that name.
dense. Like Ishi no Hoden, the
Issue non Holden.
Did you know that King Tut's mask is made of 2 layers of gold, with the face and neck made from 18.4 karat gold, and the rest of the mask made from 22.5 karat gold?
That's trippy as fuck.
Get good with this one, the light on the...
Weird, man.
How did you see that? It's so weird.
It looks like some type of alien sack, but I believe these are frog eggs.
Hey, y'all see that? Look it. If you're thinking about going out fishing and you see the water like that, you better think again. Okay, I don't know if y'all been seeing all the news and Facebook posts, but unless you're trying to get your name added to that list, that's gonna be a big no for me, dog. We ain't going out in that. Ain't trying to be somebody sad Facebook post. Stay where they're aware, folks. Hey, y'all see that?
Yeah, that's choppy, Lieutenant Dan.
So you have multiple different materials which used to take place with these weather vanes. That's what they were called.
Right.
The old weather vanes or lightning rods, which is funny because if you think about it, a lot of these buildings had thousands of lightning rods on top of them. And if you think of if you were trying to protect yourself from lightning with wooden roofs, you know, you would think, why would you put a conductive material which could bring the lightning to you? You know, it doesn't make a lot of sense. And if you look at the old weather vanes, 1893, they were all made out of copper. And you see they're just beautiful designs of copper, and then you see a little brass, and you see some gold and silver, and then mercury as well, which we'll touch on. But with all of these antennas, they're tapping into Hermann Clausen. Hermann Clausen had patents for atmospheric energy. He would send balloons up into the sky that were made out of tin, and he would notice that he would get all this voltage, free electricity. And he said, why don't we use this? Because helium is practically free, and helium can be used with radium and all of these things. But he said, why don't we do this? We just send a balloon up, you got voltage, you got power for your house. Now, if you think of all these antennas, if you connected them to a battery, an earth battery, the earth battery would charge the entire time. The copper would run up to the antenna, and you would be able to... So you have multiple different materials which used to...
Sounds like a free energy system, if you ask me.
Can you tell me about this inverted star right here?
Okay, I can. That's the Order of the Eastern Star, which is one of Our Lady's groups. They're very, very large. They have both male and female members in it. The men have to be a Mason to join it. It's also one of those stars that causes people to think that we might be involved in devil worship, and we're not.
And Hiram was the Grand Master, right?
Hiram was. On the other side up here, we have the chaplain. We open our meetings with a non-denominational prayer. We never say in the name of Jesus Christ at the end of our prayers. But the reason for that is because we have all religions represented in a lodge, and we're expecting that the God that they worship is who they're thinking of as we close that prayer.
So is there an amen at the end?
There is an amen.
Okay.
There is an amen.
But you're respecting the other faiths.
Yeah. And we would typically say something along the lines of, in thy holy name. And of course, when that happens, I'm thinking of Jesus Christ.
But somebody else might be thinking of the deity they worship.
Their deity they worship. Yeah. Yes.
Can you tell us about this globe? Well, is that part of the decor?
So every lodge in this state has 2 pillars. They don't all have stairs, but these are representative of the 2 pillars on the porch at King Solomon's Temple.
And they have names, right?
They have names.
Yakin? Is that right? You tell me. I'm going to get...
I actually can't.
You can't. Okay.
No, I actually can't. That's one of those. But they can be easily found.
Can you tell me about this?
Yes.
I'm getting a creepy feeling and I'm not even inside that temple. That's all I have for today's video. If you made it this far, drop Super Monday as a code word. Super Monday lets me know when you drop that in the comments, when I'm swimming through the comments reading it, you're a real one. A real one. You made it all the way through the video and I just want to say thank you. Your support means the world to me and honestly helps me keep going banging these boys out. So from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you. This was creepy videos, disturbing TikToks, and scary theories that might just keep you up all night. See you tomorrow.